The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. The Senate will launch an investigation into the country's airspace shutdown on New Year's Day. Some former and current government officials are expected to be summoned. Arian Calumbiran with the report.
The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines has a lot of explaining to do on the airspace shutdown that affected over 56,000 passengers on New Year's Day. This according to Senator J.V. Ejercito, Vice Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Public Services, which is pushing for an investigation into the incident. Speaking to the big story, Ejercito warns that the glitch has an impact not only on the economy but also on national security.
We will be blinded if our radar and our air management system is not working. So we really have to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible.
So far, numerous resolutions have already been filed at the upper chamber to investigate the air traffic glitch. For Senator Jinggoy Estrada, the possibility of it being caused by a cyber attack cannot be ruled out.
Hindi natin alam kung pinapasukan na tayo ng mga terorista dito sa ating bansa. So, huwag tayo maging complacent. Let's not be too complacent about it.
Estrada adds that former Transportation Secretary Art Tugade should also be invited for questioning. The senator says Tugade is the only one who can shed light on the around 13 billion peso fund that was reportedly allocated to fix the airspace system during his term, but was instead used for ornamental purposes like setting up electronic billboards. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Kaap said it's ready to face the Senate investigation.
Kami po ay nakahanda. We welcome all the inquiries po na gagawin ng ating anumang sektor ng ating gobyerno po.
Kaap also said that while the country's air traffic system was not obsolete, it admitted that upgrades are necessary and that a recommendation to President Marcos has been submitted for the modernization of the air traffic management system.
Yan po ay constantly na dumadaan sa ating regular maintenance. Yan pong ating equipment na yan, kung tawagin nga, ay nasa midlife. Hindi pa naman po completely obsolete, though we need upgrades to make sure na siya po ay makatutugon sa lahat ng pangangailangan sa ngayon. Maganda pa po ang performance.
The Transportation Department noted that funding options are available for system upgrades.
It has to be approved by MEDA because it will cost more than 2.5 billion pesos. We should be able to fund this through ODA or through loans from different financing.
Arian Calumbiran, we are One News.
The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines plans to procure a new backup power system to avoid another air traffic glitch. CAAP Deputy General Edgardo Diaz told the chiefs that the standby uninterrupted power supply or UPS system malfunctioned and there are already ongoing assessments are already ongoing to determine the cause of the technical issue.
Bakit hindi po siya nag-kick in? Bakit hindi po siya kumarga ng load? No, tinitingnan po lahat yan, yung mga parts niyan. And then we already were able to contact the supplier. We are now looking at the possibility of purchasing mga UPS.
Diaz also said that the new air traffic backup system will be purchased through the government's emergency procurement program, this as the matter is deemed urgent.
So, kung sa normal po ay medyo sabihin na natin baka po may katagalan. Sa palagay ko po under an emergency procurement, iyan po ay mapapabilis.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News Now. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. President Bongbong Marcos' schedule will be hectic today as he is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping and other ranking officials in his state visit in China. The president and his delegation flew to Beijing amid surging COVID-19 cases in China. Marian Enriquez with the full story.
President Bongbong Marcos and the rest of the Philippine delegation arrived in China at 6:10 p.m. on Tuesday. This is the president's first official foreign trip this year and his first state visit outside of ASEAN. Upon landing at the airport, officials and members of the media were taken to a hotel for rapid antigen tests. Security pins were also distributed to the whole delegation for access to events and activities. Marcos Jr. pushed through with his state visit to China despite growing concerns over COVID-19. Recall that China's healthcare system has been crippled with ballooning patients. In his departure speech, the president said that he will bring up political and security matters during the state visit. At 11 a.m. today, he will meet with Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Li Zhanshu. Then in the afternoon, he will have bilateral meetings with Chinese Premier Li Keqiang and his counterpart Xi Jinping.
I look forward to my meeting with President Xi as we work towards shifting the trajectory of our relations to a higher gear that would hopefully bring numerous prospects and abundant opportunities for the peace and development to the peoples of both our countries.
The leaders are expected to sign more than 10 bilateral agreements on agriculture, commerce, among others. Apart from his cabinet, Marcos Jr. also included business leaders in his delegation.
I hope to return home to the Philippines with a harvest of agreements and investments that will benefit our countrymen and further strengthen the foundation of our economic environment.
After the series of meetings, the president and his delegates will attend a dinner banquet tonight. Marcos Jr., however, will not be able to meet the Filipino community in Beijing due to the COVID-19 situation in China. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
And here are the other headlines we're keeping our eyes on. The Health Department says the XBB.1.5 COVID-19 Omicron subvariant has not yet entered the country. The DOH says it is on the lookout for the subvariant and is confident in detecting other potential variants that may come in. Data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show the XBB.1.5 subvariant is responsible for 40% of recent COVID cases in America. The Commission on Elections says barely 190,000 people signed up for voter registration in December. The poll body admits that voter registration has so far been slow and that the latest figure is far from its target of 1.5 million. The Commission calls on Filipinos to sign up as early as possible.
Huwag na tayong maghintay pa ng isang araw o deadline or 1 week before or 2 days or 3 days before the deadline na dudumugin na naman ang opisina ng COMELEC. No, as early as possible, ngayon or bukas magparehistro na tayo.
And more than 1,400 families are affected by floods in Lanao del Norte. The Disaster Mitigation Office of Region 10 said flooding incidents were reported in at least 24 barangays across the province. It was caused by incessant rains due to the trough or tail of a low-pressure area near Palawan. Over in Leyte, the towns of Tanawan and Palo have suspended government work and classes due to inclement weather. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register an account now at signalplay.com.ph so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News, all sides, all the time.